Doped up on meth, a dangerous criminal tears through Mobile County on a high-speed chase and is finally captured by deputies in 8 Mile. Richard Phillips, wanted for a string of robberies in Alabama and Mississippi, attempted to escape into the woods, but was dragged out by a police dog. Moments later, News 5 arrived on the scene and a wounded Phillips requested to speak on camera. News 5's JB Biunno, the only reporter on the scene, and interviewed Phillips last night. Good evening, JB.
Good evening, Roseanne. Phillips was in court this morning after his fast and furious joyride through 8 Mile last night with the cops hot on his trail. But when we interviewed Phillips on the scene, shirtless, bleeding, and high on meth, his demeanor was the opposite of what we were expecting.
If I don't get another chance, that'll be my fault, you know. I can't blame no one but me.
Troubled, remorseful, and broken, we were expecting a menacing criminal. Instead, a tearful Richard Phillips spilled a lifetime full of regret.
I hope that it's not too late for me, man, to get another chance in life, to be there for my son. Like, I promised that I would always never put him through what my parents put me through.
With fresh wounds from the police dogs that dragged him from the woods, Phillips admitted his relentless addiction to methamphetamine. During the chase tonight, all through these roads over the last several hours, were you high on drugs?
Yes, sir, and I wasn't, and I put a lot of people's lives at risk, and I wasn't thinking about that.
Are you high right now, Richard?
I'm coming down now because I've done a run and I've done that.
Though apologetic, don't let appearances fool you. Phillips was labeled armed and extremely dangerous this week after an alleged robbery spree, knocking over store after store in Alabama and Mississippi.
I did them crimes, I'm saying. I was wrong for that, and I'm sorry for that.
That crime run came to an end when Phillips crashed in 8 Mile and failed to escape right outside Robin Coley's home.
I mean, it's very scary. We have small children. You know, it just, like I said, he's remorseful because he was caught. And I hope and pray, and we will all pray for his little boy. I hope he gets the help he needs.
Phillips appeared before a judge coincidentally right after his alleged accomplice, Destiny Ann Worth, on Friday morning. But by this time, he had spoken his piece. The fugitive who terrified families on the Gulf Coast, offering these choice words to anyone who would listen.
This meth is nothing, man. It's the devil's drug, you hear me? And I run around, I do this stuff, man. And I wish I would just die every day, you know? But I don't want to die. And I this goes out to all the kids out there. Please, man, do not mess with meth. Do not mess with drugs. Do the right thing.
Now, the gun that Phillips reportedly threw out the window during the high-speed pursuit has not been recovered. Also, another suspect who bailed on Phillips out of the car into the woods is also still on the loose. As for Phillips himself, Roseanne, he faces numerous charges here in Alabama. He'll have to appear and answer to those charges before likely being extradited to Mississippi to answer to the charges in George County.
JB, it's really rare for any news agency to interview a suspect moments after his capture like that. Can you explain how and why that happened?
I can, Roseanne. It was a high-profile arrest for local authorities who wanted it to be known that this man is no longer on our streets. Not to mention, Roseanne, Phillips was the one who requested to speak to us. Very interesting, kind of a role reversal, if you will. Certainly a really bizarre night in 8 Mile.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much, JB.